everyone, in this video you will learn about the concept of data type in Java. So without wasting time, let's start the video. As you noticed in our previous video, variables and constant in Java, before assigning values to a variable or constant, we first define its data type. This data type determines the kind of value of the variable or constant can hold, such as int, double, string, float, etc. Next, by specifying the data type, Java ensures type safety, meaning you can't store an incorrect type of data or another type of data in a variable. Data types are used to specify the type of data variable or constant can hold in a program. In other words, we can say that they define the kind of value that can be stored and manipulated in programming. As you can see in the chart, the first heading is data type, which is divided into two categories. The first one is primitive data type and the second one is reference data type. Primitive data type stores simple values, occupy less memory, and execute faster operation, while reference data type is just totally opposite. They store complex objects and require more memory. Now let's discuss the types of primitive data and the kind of data or values they store. The first type of primitive data is integer, which store whole number, meaning number without decimal points. Java provides four subtypes of integer, classifying based on the number of bits they occupy in memory. Now the question arises in our mind that what is bit? So a bit binary digit is the small unit of memory in a computer. It can store only two values, 0 or 1. The space or place in the memory required for storing data depends on how many bits of our data contain or use. The more bits the data type contain, the larger number it can store. As you can see in the picture, the four types of integer are mentioned on the basis of their bit size. The byte integer data has a small size, which means it contains less amount of bits. So the number of bits that contain our byte data is 8 bits. The second one is short, which is a little longer than byte. So the short data type contains 16 bits. The third one is our integer int data, which stores 32 bits. And the fourth one is long, which is larger than other three ones, and it stores 64 bits data. And integer data types better. Let's practically implement them in Java. First, we have to create a Java file and name it data type and save it with .java extension. Then I write a code for each integer type like byte, short, int, long sequentially based on their bit size. Every integer data type has a fixed size and range based on bit size, or we can say that their range values. If you exceed the range, Java will show a compilation error. As you can see, the red line appear. If you store the larger values, then use long data type. If you store the normal values in thousands, then use int data type. If you store intense values like 30, 40, etc., then use short or byte. So I don't need to print output, just clarify your concept that can verify if the values fit their respective data types or not. The second type of primitive data in Java is floating point, which is used to store decimal numbers. Java categorizes floating point data type into two subtypes based on their bit size. The first one is float, which stores 32-bit data, or we can say that it is stored up to 7 decimal places. The second type is double, which stores 64-bit data, or we can say that it is stored up to 15 decimal places. Float requires an F at the end, while double does not. Double is more precise and more commonly used for scientific and financial calculation. If you concerned about memory, then use float. But now let's practically implement float and double data types and observe how they work. As you can see that when I put the values it shows an error until unless I put f at the end. So float requires f at the end, otherwise it causes an error. While double is higher accuracy and does not require a suffix. When storing large decimal values, float loses its accuracy, but double retains more decimal places. So the better way you can use double as compared to float because it work is same and more accurate as compared to float data type. So the third type of primitive data in Java is char, which means character. It stores a single character from the keyboard, including alphabet, numbers, symbols, etc. It stores 16-bit data, which is equal to 2 bytes. Here I mention a point that 8 bits equal to 1 byte. So if we say that it stores 16 bits or 2 bytes, it's the same thing in memory. Store. Now let's practically implement char data type and observe how it works. So char stores single character and it always written in a single character inside the bracket with a single quote. The fourth type of primitive data in Java is Boolean, which is used when we need to store values in the form of true or false. Boolean stores only two values, either true or false. It can use only one bit of memory. It is commonly used in conditional statements like if else, loops, etc. This is the way. Now let's practically implement Boolean data type and observe how it occurs. So this is the way how we declare the Boolean data type that we store a variable is like a statement or question like is girl or is boys, is Java learning is fun, if you subscribe my channel or not, etc. So we store that kind of variables that store the values either true or false. I hope that you understand all the primitive data types in Java. Now sum up all things and make a program that print the all primitive data types in Java.